A text arrives claiming you blew through a toll, a small fee, a quick link, a warning that feels just official enough to make your stomach drop. That's exactly how toll scam artists get their foot in the door, by mimicking the everyday annoyances we barely question. Fake toll notices, phony invoices, messages that look like they came straight from your state transportation authority. They target drivers in busy cities, retirees on fixed incomes, and anyone who's ever taken a highway exit without thinking twice. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how these scams work, how scammers gather just enough information to make their threats feel personal, and why the amounts they demand are small enough that many victims pay simply to avoid the hassle. It's a journey into a scam built on irritation, routine, and split-second decisions. Welcome to Fraud on the Front Porch, and the truth about fraud starts now. Hello, folks, and thanks for joining, listening, or watching. Today's episode is all about toll notices, or should I say toll notices that aren't really toll notices. Those fake invoices that slide into our inboxes or our phones all across our country. With me, as always, today is Sean, my fellow fraud furrier. Good afternoon, Sean.
Hey, Tony. Glad to be here. You're gonna have to just give me a minute, I think. I must have blown a toll on the way to the studio today. I got a text that's telling me, yeah, I owe some money to the tollway.
How much?
I'm just gonna pay it. It's only $3.75. I mean, what's the harm could it do? What harm could it do? I mean, could we? I don't want a traffic ticket later. I'm just gonna pay it. $3.75.
Love it. Well, the most important thing is to make sure that $3.75 doesn't turn into $37.50.
Yep.
Because today we're diving into the most common toll payment schemes, how scammers use fake notices to trick victims, and the steps seniors should take when they receive a toll notice out of the blue.
Yeah, we're also going to talk about how those fraudsters exploit your routine travel, how to verify if a actual toll notice is legitimate, and all those warning signs that it's actually a scam.
Awesome. We're also going to share some real stories. We got a dramatic one later on and a successful intervention story as well, one that stopped a scammer in his tracks. Sean, as we like to do, let's get going with some numbers. I think the folks are going to be a little bit surprised about just how widespread these tolls have become over the last few months and really few years.
According to the FTC, we love our FTC stats on this podcast. Reports of toll-related phishing scams have increased 300% in the last 2 years.
Oh my God, that's staggering.
And in fact, just last month, I got two on the same day. Really, they look like formal documents from the state of Illinois, where I'm at. Said I was due in court the next day in Chicago, which I'm not really close to, so that would have been very painful to make it there. And it provided me a QR code to scan to go pay my bill. So 2 in the same day from unknown numbers, QR code to go pay a bill. Otherwise, I was, due in court. Otherwise, I'd be in contempt of court if I didn't show up or pay. So I did investigate the QR code because I'm insanely curious, and I went to the site. First thing that popped up was a blue checkbox that made me say, "You are a human. Click here if you're a human." So I just closed the site after that because that's just an invitation for them to put all kinds of software on your phone. So yeah, they're up and they're out and about, and they're using very professional templates.
Yeah, I had a similar situation where just somebody I was listening to, a podcast I was listening to, the podcaster almost got scammed. They were traveling out of state. They thought they'd blown through the toll. So
that's something.
Getting the notice was just out of the blue, was random, same situation. I mean, it totally makes sense. Everyone drives, everyone uses highways, and everyone hates tolls.
Yeah, I got a couple more stats too, Tony. Nearly 40% of these toll scam victims are over the age of 60, meaning seniors are one of the most targeted groups.
I'm guessing they're the most targeted because they're the most honest group, willing to believe they actually are responsible for some supposed debt they may have incurred. I also think that seniors drive a lot of familiar routes and they rely on that routine of just producing the same data
Yep.
all the time, and the scammers will study that data, and scammers know that that's how they can target them better. Just what's the average loss for a senior in those kinds of
Yeah.
situations?
Not a huge number. Sometimes we read huge numbers on here, but it's only $5 to $50 on average.
Mm,
But
just
again,
enough to
multiply
pay.
that across thousands of victims, and
Yeah.
scammers are raking in the big bucks.
Yeah.
Also, those small amounts, like the joke I made at the top of the podcast, they're small amounts, so you just kind of pay them without thinking, because what's the harm? What's the impact that's going to have? And 70% of those fake notices do come from spoofed local numbers. So you do think, okay, this is my local area, this is my state, this is a legitimate notice for me to pay a
Absolutely.
fee.
Yeah, senior looks at that and says, "Oh, it's a 703 number. It's a 404 number. I'm in Georgia. That's me.
Yeah,
Must be real."
yeah.
Yep.
And
Mm.
then our final stat, which is always a little disappointing, but only 9% of these victims ever even report the scam in the first place.
Yeah, we know that doesn't tell the whole story.
Right.
9%. There's no way. Uh, that's staggering. So that means every number out there is multiplied. It's that's crazy. All right, let's get into some real life scam situations with some of these tools. I almost said tools. We'll get to the tools later.
Yeah.
But there's some clever ways people get into the money with the tolls, all happening across this great land of ours. You want to kick us off?
Yeah. One of those is, they know a lot of people have the Easy Pass, the Sun Pass, whatever iPass,
That's me.
whatever is in your state, in your region, in your area. And that's where they'll try to send the notice from.
Mm,
Usually that's about a $25 ask. It'll claim you have an unpaid toll. Um,
mm,
you can look and see. So, for example, when I went to the website linked in my uh, fake notification, the website was some bizarre, crazy website I've never heard of before, a bunch of random letters. It might end in a .info or a .biz, but keep an eye out for that as well. But that's a pretty common one, Tony.
gotcha. I I had one. I had a violation last year. It was legit. I actually violated. I was driving a car that I didn't have a one of those. Uh,
The pass, yeah.
yeah, the I can't remember
Or
the correct
transponder.
transponder. Thank you.
Yep.
I didn't have the transponder in the car. It was sitting at home. I hadn't put it in the car yet. I got nailed for like $38 or something. So I could easily see how that could
Yeah.
happen. Story I have is down in Florida. They've got a Sun Pass. So the Sun Pass surprise, $48 scam. Um, what happened was grandmother got an email saying that she had a $48 charge on it. Fortunately, her grandson saw that the logo was slightly off. And as a result, the bank was able to reverse the charge. So she got away with it. She got away from the scam.
It's a good
Pretty
eye.
cool situation.
Good
Yeah,
eye to see the
amazing.
logo.
Just just the just the willingness to go in and investigate rather than accept.
Yeah.
That pause. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah. I've got another example. A senior got a city mobility fee, which I don't even know what that is.
Can't
$12. Please, $12, pay the mobility fee because I guess we're mobile through the city.
yeah,
They ended up calling City Hall and found out there's no such thing as that. There's no such program. And they ended up blocking the number. So another good outcome there.
gotcha. I've seen these situations where people block their license plates when they go through tolls. They have like this special light that shines on it. I haven't seen the door trap come down over the license plate thing, but just little things like that, especially like when they blow through stuff. But this is an extension of that, and to a degree. This is the stolen plate scam, where they attempt to bilk $75 out of a senior by using the real license plate number. So they get the data associated with the license plate, and the senior checks their own account, because every toll system has an online account, and they see that, hey, I got a notice. It was my real license plate, but when I went into my account, I don't have any violations. That's a quick sign that they were attempted to be scammed. In this case, for this individual, they did go into their account, which is something we advocate a lot. Go into your specific accounts with your respective vendors, and no money was lost.
Yeah,
So
that's fortunate.
well.
It's really scary that they, due to some data breaches, they do have access to possibly your name and address and license plate number, or maybe even driver's license number. And they can make those fake notifications look very, very legitimate by
Super easy.
pre-populating it with your own information. Now, the 2 I received last month were very generic. Very fortunate there. They did not have my name on it. They did not have a license plate. They did not have an address or a phone number. But those are out there in the wild because of those data leaks in the past.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could do a Google search anywhere on the internet, and you could get a copy of an invoice for any of these systems, whether it be EasyPass, SunPass, any of the other ones across the country, the ones they use on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I know that's another kind of system they have. All right, getting back to my earlier potential lapsus linguae with regard to tools, let's break down the tolls and the scammers and how they actually operate.
All right.
Talk about their strategies, talk about the speed and the believability that they pressure us with, and really just catching people in the middle of their daily routine.
Yeah, you hit on it earlier. It is that routine, the routine travel. I mean, everybody drives, everybody takes highways. Everyone's had that moment in the back of your head that says, did I just bypass that toll? Did I just miss that? So it's really easy to wedge your scam into that tiny crack of doubt that may be sitting there in the back of your mind.
Yeah, and that's easy to capitalize on, because when you think about seniors, it's all this predictability. You know, they've got the doctor's visits, the grocery runs, church, grandkids' houses. So when they see that message, you missed a toll on Route 267, boom.
Yep.
It's super plausible to them.
For sure.
I might even chalk it up to, like, for example, for me, I might say, oh, maybe my EasyPass wasn't working that day.
Yeah, right. I mean, the ones I used to have, now they've upgraded them, but previous ones I've had were battery powered. Yeah, okay, maybe the battery in the transponder died, and that's why this is coming through. So that is where they start. They, again, capture that look and feel of a real toll notice, a real fee notice from the tollway, from all those authorities, EasyPass, SunPass, Fast Track, I mean, you name it. They use the same colors, logos, fonts, even the same wording.
Yeah, and there's spoof numbers. You get 703 for Virginia or 571. You've got 305 or 407 for Florida, 404 for Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy. And
they want you to think it's from your state. Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to match the invoice type with the local phone number, and boom, you've got a connection. It's probably going to get past 75% of the people that see it.
Yep, you're right.
And then
it's
a matter of how far do you investigate?
Because it looks so real, you might not. And the piece on top of that, which is the scary and the genius part of these scams, is they don't ask you for $500. They don't ask you for $1,000 like they do in some of the other scams we cover. They ask for $325, $650, $1,220, just enough so you go, yeah, I'll just pay it and move on. I don't want to get in trouble. Scammers know that people hate the
Mm.
hassle of disputing a toll in the first place. So you might just pay that $3.50 to get it off your plate and get on with your day.
I would. I would not want those penalties or fees,
Right.
nuisance fees, I joked about earlier, taking that 375 and turning it into 3750. No one wants that. It's almost like dealing with the IRS.
Right. Right.
You're a little late on your taxes. Next thing you know, you owe more than you did for your taxes in the first place.
Right. So you pay quickly, right? You don't think about it. You pay quickly. It's exactly what the scammers and the fraudsters want from you.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the numbers, the multiplicatives just got to be huge with regard to the small fees they're asking for.
Yeah, because it rakes in big bucks for them at the end of the day. I mean, they send millions of texts at once, hoping a few thousand
Mm.
people bite on those.
Can't imagine what software you use to do something like that.
I don't know how they get it past all kinds of spam filtering and things through the phone company, and they sure do.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, the ones I received were pretty close to each other, two different numbers. I'm sure they're all coming from the same fraud ring, just trying to get people to bite. But really, there's more dangerous ones out there, Tony, because of data breaches from toll agencies or DMVs, or even those parking systems and parking software platforms that keep all of your license information and your payment data. Transportation vendors, I mean, Uber and Lyft, I believe, have both been compromised and had data breaches in the past.
Wow.
So the scammers can get that. They capitalize on information. Like we talked about, your real license plate number could be on this form. A real
Mhm.
travel route that you take to and from work or to the grocery store, real road names, real city names, real vehicle names. So the scam, if they're targeting you, can look very, very legitimate because it's built on your actual real information. And that communication, whether it's a text, whether it's an email, might say you missed a toll on March 3rd at 2:14 p.m. And there might be some likely odds that you were on that road on that day, and they're taking a wild guess, but they might be right. And then just think about that, how legitimate that looks if you see a
Uh,
notice like that.
yeah, I was thinking back to a toll violation I had when you said that. I You look at the photo that they send to you.
Right.
Like, a lot of times they'll give you the photo. "That's my license plate. That's me. Yeah, I must have been me." And, I mean, I hope I wasn't driving anywhere at 3:12 AM in the morning, but it's immediately gonna make you think, how do I work through this to figure out, am I the bad guy, or do I immediately have to dispute this and do something about it? Because they can probably even do something with the images
Yeah.
that come in if they know your license plate.
Or they can just put a grainy image in there and you just assume it's you anyway, because you're saying,
Even
well, they're
worse,
giving
yeah.
me a photo, it must be me. So
Yeah.
you're hitting on, again, what they're relying on is that urgency. So you get
Mm,
that toll notice and you say, oh no, I got to pay this right away. I don't want to get penalized. And then of course you have that fear that's built in of more fees, more penalties. In my case, it was the court date that was the next day. Oh, I'm gonna have to drop everything and go downtown for a court case. I don't want to do that. And then that you're annoyed. You want that off your plate. You don't want that hovering over your head. You say, well, I'll just pay it. I'll just pay it and move on. And they know people, and seniors especially don't want legal trouble, and they'll push
mm,
hard on that fear. Here's the bad part. Once you do pay that small, tiny fee of
mm.
375, guess what? Guess what's coming after that, Tony?
They're
More
escalate.
more tolls, more fees. You might have a late fee added. There might be a final notice fee. Uh, uh, and they might just invent more toll violations to follow it. They just keep going and going until either the senior's bank flags it and stops it, or a family member steps in. And it's like a game to them to see how many rounds can I go with this person to just
Wow.
keep going, ding, 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 before you can cash out.
So it doesn't matter what the type of fraud is. It's about repeatedly throwing the rod, casting the rod
Yep.
into the water until the fish stop biting.
It's fishing with a PH and fishing with an F. Fishing for fishing.
You're right. Man, that's comically sickening.
It is.
I mean, I laugh, but I laugh versus like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, that was awesome. It's a great wrap up. All right, you've set us up perfectly with what you've described. This could happen to anybody, right? People who are vigilant, especially seniors, obviously routine, other things that go on with them. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and share a story about Eleanor and her toll troubles. Let me take you into a moment that could happen to any senior and almost cost one woman far more than a few dollars. It's 7:45 a.m. Eleanor Grace, age 78, is sitting at her kitchen table, sipping her morning tea. Suddenly, her phone buzzes. Unpaid toll violation, $4.50. Pay immediately to avoid additional penalties. Eleanor frowns. She hasn't driven on a toll road in months. The message boldly shows her license plate number. It has the Maryland state logo. It even lists a heavily traveled highway she recognizes. Her stomach tightens. She doesn't want trouble. She doesn't want late fees. She doesn't want to bother her daughter again. After brief hesitation, she finally clicks the link. A website opens, identical to the state's toll portal. Same blacks, whites, reds, and yellows. Same layout, same logo. It's only $4.50. She cannot remember if it was her daughter, or maybe even her grandson. Rationalizing she'll just put this nuisance behind her, she slowly enters her card. This time, she'll just do the family a favor. She hits submit. 2 days later, her bank calls. There are charges from overseas. $300, $600, $1,200. Eleanor is now completely confused. She thinks back to the one time she used her card over the past 15 days, and now she feels sick. She was doing the responsible thing. She thought she was avoiding a penalty, but she'd walked right into a scam, one designed to look like the most ordinary part of her day. Sean, it's fight back time.
Yeah, you hate to hear stories like that, but Tony, I just want to say that it's so routine, so believable, and so normal that so many seniors are just trying to do the right thing and wind up like that. So let's run through a quick discussion on legitimacy and how seniors and everybody else can avoid getting scammed by these. And in nearly every case, you're going to be able to verify whether these toll charges are legitimate or not. And because sometimes they are, unfortunately, in fact, legitimate. I know I've had a toll road violation before.
I got a few of that myself.
For sure. The first steps are very easy. We talk about them all the time. Pause and just take a step back. Toll agencies don't demand immediate payment. Yes, they do demand payment, but not immediately, not now, not one day before a court case, like in my situation. And then don't click the links in the text or email. Don't call phone numbers that are given to you in a text. Go directly. If you receive one of these, go to your toll agency's website. That is either, your official state Department of Transportation site. That could be your Easy Pass, iPass, SunPass, Fast Track, customer service accounts, and log into your account, search your account, search for your license plate, and make sure these aren't legitimate toll violations. And in the future going forward, delete all those unsolicited toll texts that come to your phone. ignore those unknown numbers, and keep a list of what you actually own. Do you own an Easy Pass? Then keep a list there, and again, so you'll remember to log in to the actual website instead of clicking a link. And then, of course, long-term strategies, educate your family members, make sure you have someone you can rely on when you receive some of these texts. I hate to say it, but if you are going to get scammed and you really are unsure and you really do want to pay, which we say never, never do, you've got to pay on a credit card, Tony, because the debit card gives somebody access right to your checking account, right to your bank account and the money that's in there. And that is harder to reverse and to stop if your credit card is compromised, because you can reverse payments on credit cards much more easily than you can on a debit card when the money's already moved out of your checking account. So you want those bank alerts like Eleanor had where she got the phone call, and you definitely want to review your statements on a regular basis.
Sean, that was fantastic. In this day and age, I doubt anybody had to take notes. I'm sure there's probably an AI script out there somewhere. Anybody can go back and review. Some great rules to follow there, especially with the immediate and the long-term strategies. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for putting those together.
What the heck was that?
That's our new sign. That means it's quiz time.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Today we have just 5 questions. First question's pretty easy. What's the number one sign that a toll notice is fake?
It's going to come to your phone in a text message. That is an instant giveaway.
Correct. All right. So that makes 2 even easier. True or false? Toll agencies do send violations by text.
False. That is false, and you might get something in the snail mail rather than a text message.
Amen. I think we've both experienced that one.
Yep.
Question number 3. What's the safest way to check a toll balance?
Log into your state's official toll website.
Perfect. And I would add that if you're struggling to do that, you should be able to reset your password or at least establish an ID. Worst case scenario, you can always call them and get your login information.
Very true. Very true.
Don't use the number in the text.
Never.
What dollar amount would you say fraudsters most often use?
We gave the range at the beginning, but I would say from what I've seen, it's mostly always under $20. It's going to be small enough for you to not have to think about it too hard.
I'll accept that.
Okay.
I'll accept that answer.
I'll take it.
Okay. And finally, question number 5. What's the best long-term protection strategy?
Besides deleting unwanted texts, of course, besides deleting text from numbers you've never heard of, maintain that list of all of your toll accounts that you actually have.
Awesome. All right. Any more educational strategies we want to share with the group for dealing with this nuisance scam?
Yeah, let's just hammer a few things home. Number 1, we just talked about it. Toll agencies do not ever text. They will not text you. So if you see it come by a text, it's fake. If it came by an email, it's fake. If it came either of those methods and gives you a weird link to click on, it's fake. So real toll agencies are going to send you physical mail. It's going to show up in your mailbox if you have a toll violation fee to pay. That's it. None of the tollway processors text or email fines. Secondly, they want you to feel that urgency, and they want you to act before you think. So we talked about this in a previous podcast, Tony. Just put down the phone for 30 seconds when you see something like this, or you hear something like this, or you read something. You also have to remember, I don't click links. I'll check my account directly, and I need to verify this right away.
Perfect.
Which gets us to our third point. Verification is everything. Go right to your toll agency website, search for your license plate, or call the agency on the phone number. Again, never, ever call the number or click a link in a text. Just never do it. And then finally, have your family play a role. Consider, for any of these situations we ever talk about, building that trusted circle, 2 or 3 people you can call or talk to about something that comes in before you pay anything.
Yeah, I love those. I might add to the trust circle that the key is a normal conversation, right? No shame, no judgment, information exchange, and advice. That's all we want out of that. Sean, I really appreciate those. Those are practical, they're actionable. Love that they're actionable and easily implemented. Thank you. All right, let's get to the home stretch. And you want to provide a successful intervention story for us?
Yeah, I've got one with a happy ending. So let me just share a story that shows just how powerful that one moment of hesitation and one caring family member can be in these scam situations. So Harold is 81. He's a retired high school hockey coach, still sharp, still independent, still proud of driving himself everywhere he needs to go. One Tuesday morning, he's sitting in his recliner, sipping his usual cup of black coffee when his phone buzzes. It says, unpaid toll violation, $7.20. Pay immediately to avoid additional penalties. So Harold squints at the message. He had driven to a doctor's appointment the week before, and he did take the expressway. And the message has his exact license plate number.
Mm.
His stomach tightens. He hates the idea of being in trouble. He hates the idea of late fees even more. So he taps the link. A website opens, clean, official looking, with the state logo right there at the top of the page. It even shows a blurry photo of a car that kind of looks like his. So Harold reaches for his wallet. But then, and this is the moment that saved him, he remembers something his granddaughter told him at Thanksgiving that year. Grandpa, if anything ever feels weird, call me first. So he does. She answers on the second ring. He reads her the message out loud, and she immediately hears all those red flags. The urgency, the link, the tone, and she asks him to forward her the text. Within seconds, she spots it. The link for the agency link for the website ends in a .biz, .biz, not .gov, not .com, not anything a real toll agency would use. So then she checks the official state toll website, no violations. Harold's got no missed payments. He's got no issues at all. So she reports the scam to the state, DOT, and the FTC. And here's the best part: within 48 hours, Tony, the fake website was taken down. So Harold didn't lose a penny, not $7.20, not $720, nothing. So again, one pause, one phone call, one empowered senior, and one scammer shut down.
That's awesome. Obviously, Harold had a trust circle that Eleanor didn't capitalize on.
Yes.
In her situation. So I also love that his his granddaughter went and reported to both the State Department of Transportation as well as the Federal Trade Commission. That's big. As we always say, reporting one can help thousands. And good spot on being able to home in on the .biz web link. Lots of folks get fooled by that. So really appreciate that. Just a great example of a trust circle in action. Thanks for sharing that, Sean. Okay, let's wrap things up. Toll scams aren't going away, but neither are we. At least until next week, we're going away.
Yeah, well, we all need a break now and then. But the only way to not get broken from these toll scams is awareness. That changes everything. So seniors deserve to feel confident, not confused. And as we just shared, families make all the difference.
Agreed. Perfect ending. All right, let's keep talking. Let's keep teaching. Until next time. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Tony.
A fake toll notice can look harmless. Just a quick link, but behind that link may be a scammer ready to strike. Just a few dollars, but behind that tiny fee may be a scammer ready to drain a senior's savings. Today, you learned how these scams work, how they target seniors, how they target routine travel, and how to spot the warning signs before it's too late. You learned how to verify and how to protect the people you love. No toll agency worth trusting ever texts you a bill. So stay alert, stay informed, stay empowered. And as always, remember to pause, question, and ask for help.